the establishment of the OSP is a waste of time. It was not necessary for it to be formed. Well, in the case of person fighting corruption, he has a right to fight by law.
Okay.
But me showing body language now, me feel say he wants to please John Baba. You stop talking about Pekasaludo. I saw something. Okay, Salome. Salome, he died in prison. I saw something about Wuntumi.
Okay.
I saw say now we were prison. That's one thing that he should gather pastors to pray about. But the whole thing, he'll be jailed if we don't pray. Yeah, Nimbucha from Bompa Manajan in there. Or Jelini Swab or jail. And it's a Bompa Manasania Bear. So I didn't see. It created a lot of confusion. And you know, they ensure the tension it will bring a very high democracy. NPP cannot come into power if we don't solve their spiritual problem.
I was saying a free bra OSP me check you see a Japan in the claim we are wanted. Then if we say you could so a church and I want to me about what do over catch 7 days Ghana for HSA and then now 4 years yeah a Ghana for any and send a sign out of the people now and the because so at the before how we bring and the home at the community to listen and that one say so as of the crap and declare spiritual war and the NPP before that is say now I was saying you'll be a spiritual in the sound or sound so politically in the so or sign only the there's a apostles of Amanti or German sovereign. I'm going to know how to have a Pacomono and Shes.
Yeah, now what to say? Oh,
Apostle Emra, OSP. Ebe declare Ken of Rata wanted. I feel Sanchez will figure it better as a Wujane. And it's a Ghana fortress. I pay a fee first 1 year about on teachers at Washington. I like for extra cat actually be our war, in medical reporting at the Bro. It is a Washington, I wouldn't be war. It is a Bob on saying, I will declare the wanted sign the answer whatever war. A small baby, a small kids are going to be a swim someone or person say where the power lies in the episode. What you know?
May OSP no, may feel say the establishment of the OSP is a waste of time.
Waste of time.
It's an error. The anti-American cancer and we have a lot of investigative bodies for Ghana, YOCO, BNI, any the court, the police, institutions are there. The Attorney General, and it's a waste of time. And I've always come with that opinion because I feel another form to satisfy Ghanaians, senior bear to appear to be fighting corruption, but another one fighting corruption, which are corruption scandals and doors so many times. If you look at the National Cathedral, $58 million So I feel that the OSP, the establishment and CASA, it was not necessary for it to be formed. Well, in the case of person fighting corruption, he has a right to fight by law.
Okay.
But me showing body language now, me feel say he wants to please John Baba.
Oh, okay.
Me feel say
as a war,
because I don't see the point. I feel that fighting of corruption is very important, but I hear too much drama because me feel say he has an option. One of the options of the OSP is to me call US and go and interrogate him and find out what is wrong with him and be sure for yourself whether and partner. Just go and do something. There will be in a county called physical verification. So do we need a check. Now we say the all can yampa. They're very important. They make an answer. And so we have a problem with the OSP, the establishment of the OSP. My approach so very wrong. I like the Ghana saying fighting corruption now into me to impound that. So the fighting of corruption is very, very important. However, the approach can derail the whole thing.
Okay.
And for me, uncle, and then go and verify for himself to find out whether indeed the guy is sick or not. And in the Beboa, than standing in Ghana and getting him wanted. Can't you go? They make an answer what he wants.
You can't call a bar for years. We know the kind of control fee any idea not only home. And my lawyers,
a conifee or Ghana, Nancy.
Ghana.
So I will check here.
Okay,
if he wants to travel, he can use business class and amiba. So he can go. Maybe if he's a son call or drew her and you never anyway. Now I can say, well, the guy is not well indeed. Now the American.
But over the second of we finance minister. We didn't say a bias definitely no. Only say a bank to Sabiana if you share when my uniati. It's in the same Sabia, I wouldn't say this other person. Always really the cover while lawyers natural cutter at the account money so me obeba me you do ya one sign song so if you can say obeba me but we are there back whom you do exequate went to me and take your that's it. And I say a young payo so by yes.
That's what I'm saying. What he's supposed to do. I said, he has doing results. I want to interrogate this man. You can have evidence against him if you don't go and talk to him.
Okay.
Wuntumi thank a court and a court will do the honorable thing. And to go and find and verify for yourself based on that. Don't declare you wanted that. It is one aspect. But you have not interrogated. Declaring somebody wanted doesn't mean that, you have declared him, by like law, you have accused him of committing a crime. Wanted is different. You can declare somebody wanted, but you have not really charged him. Wanted, they say, really unfashy. So go there. Maybe fail of between the cover, you can verify for yourself with all your eyes to see. Ken, I have had the opportunity to meet Ken, he's Graffotti, isn't an idea. They say he's white, but he's genuinely God fearing. But it's just that to me as sound.
Okay.
See, white, but money is very powerful. What I said, and it's possible to say, when you do the interrogation, you find out that he's probably guilty. That's what I say. But he has approached and say, me fix as alcohol. He should stop talking of Casa Dudo. Or Pekasa Dudo. It should stop. When you talk too much and do little, you lose credibility. And you should go there. That's getting results. The American is what I say. The issue of making him wanted and coming, all the media drama there, but me, I'm very results oriented. Me per results. Ghana, well, you per Casa Dudo. We don't want the results, but if you can talk, and that's it. Until let's go and get the job done. And so, whichever way, you should write to his lawyers and tell them, I want to go and meet him and have a discussion with him. And stop this wanted thing. Wanted. Why do you see Kano? You don't first Kano, man, this Kano. Me first home here. Yeah, it's on important. You should do the honorable thing. Get him to be, to interview him.
Yeah, share approach our OSP and take it. And then the nano chairman Wuntumi, you go for I didn't fail. Say, Wuntumi detaining of 48 hours now. Random points waiting to be our chair 48 hours. We are Fanico court and a court now. And determine some money bill and answer the man. I go feel. Sign my shana so because and this is for us or more abuse power now.
Mammy can't save Joe. And this is what Maka said. Like I say, NDC is abusing power, but corruption maybe was already there.
Okay.
What I say, some countries they will jail you out to go to countries like China. When they find you corrupt, you are sentenced to death. What did they can I say? There are very hard rules against corruption. Now, NDC will not be in power forever. Ghana Osha. 8 years, until after 8 years, if they are 14, they can bring the age. And the maximum they can get is 12 years. After 12 years, I can tell you, say MPP can come back to power. Now, if NDC is very hard and they set a standard, and MPP also follow, say no, say Ghana economy. They are following constitution. And for me, the end result is about how to fight corruption. Say will be now I could now I hear the basa. So what they make can say, and they can talk, they can make all the noise. But for me, they should go ahead and do the right thing and fight corruption.
Okay.
Whether they will somersault you, look at you, and when Wuntumi came from town, it came from Yoko, to see the way he was working has changed. If that will change him, let him become changed. Another person, everybody should follow the laws. And if you're a minister, public figure right now, and say they did that to Wuntumi, you yourself will be accountable. So whether they set the precedents or they don't set precedents. And he said, after another 8 years or 12 years, these people are going to come. Look at fast crowd also.
Okay.
Until let's put the fear of God in them. So what Mama is doing is very good. Everybody in his government will also account. He has won them. So Mama code of conduct. So after another 80, MPP will come. If they found somebody guilty, the person must be punished. What I would not like as a pastor or a man of God for it to happen is that when you don't have any evidence and you are destroying somebody, that one I don't like. So we have to follow due process. And so the rights of people should be looked at. Obia on the right. What did they make? And I say, and so this is a cycle that's happened. Don't forget the NDC. They came with during the time of revolution. So that is their culture. If NDP came into the limelight, it's because Atamis was not allowing things like that to happen. But now I think it should happen. Because money for SkyTrain is gone. Money for National Cathedral is gone. Somebody takes money, pays another account, he sends money into it. He buys a lot of estates. They make understand what I say. And we cannot be so, we cannot be quiet on corruption. It's a fighting with all our might. So they make understand what I say.
For fighting corruption, yes, but the approach, show to say, Chairman Wuntumi, fast for you to channel. Di kind be an idea kind called fee, Omoyano, and no about Monday, or buy an American asylum so okay, or addition Tuesday or some reporting. Tuesday or reporting what Okofi, a quite so, and not pickups for. As I'm pushing out of channel, or your unrobber, or your citizen, or your gun, or your.
Do you know the equal law? They didn't bring any law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, equal law allows that people should be caught like that. They didn't break any law until they can go ahead and do what, But what I saw about this is this. I saw something. Okay, Salome. Salome, he died in prison. But if I want to pick some things in the spirit, I saw something about Wuntumi. I saw, now we were prison.
Chairman Wuntumi.
Yeah, see, I saw that we were prison. That's one thing that he should gather pastors to pray about.
So, meaning, say, near airports, you prison.
No, yeah. I mean, it's what I saw. The man who was spiritual realm, he said, finally he was jailed, but he died in prison. And there was confusion in Ghana.
Okay.
And the spiritual aspect is what I can give. What did they make? Say, but they are not out of law. They are not out. They are doing the right thing. And that will create a lot of confusion.
Okay.
And political tension in Ghana. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do their work, but I'm only telling them that spiritually, we better me and see.
But if focus spiritually, I say NPP party and party be a woman.
Say if we don't pray, it will happen.
Okay. And see, a soft will be about one thing openly. We said Reverend Usubenta about one thing openly about the cassette near air possible NPP party. And now bomb by the party. Yep, shy, but I say. Now when you NPP party or some ensure that was a match and my woods be it's not a radio station or any TV station. So someone I see
I won't doubt you. So cost but it's better me up and say, maybe I want to not need scripture. But Bible say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Okay. I heard the voice insulting the man of God. Oh yeah, why want to be next tree now the idea who touches the Lord's anointed. And it can give you a lot of implications. So Mujidi said, no, so I expose the door. That's why I saw that vision. What did they make? And I say, and to all get very careful. The air person and soon trial. And I saw him at MPP office and he was having a good time idea. But the whole thing, he'll be jailed if we don't pray. Yeah, Nimbusha from Bompa and jail in there. Or the jail is what we were jail. And it's a Bompa man saying, so I didn't see. He should put in learn his lesson. No new things. He said, yes, already. Kakra.
Only for Chairman Wuntumi and sadly, we ever cause on us NPP party.
Maybe I don't know what happened later, but if you keep that guy in jail, yes, Mahon in the spiritual realm now, it created a lot of confusion. So what did they make? And I say, and they can show you the tension to bring a very high democracy. And we have to handle things with a lot of wisdom.
Okay.
Corruption, they say, fight you, but it's good. The Muslim phone gather more powerful, and they should go back and beg any man of God they are wrong. Or no, they are home, but I don't know anybody else. Whichever way they do it, they should. You see, when they were talking, they said they were apologizing. I mean, Justin Kodwa spoke about the fact that they apologize to men of God, but they are not specific about it.
Okay.
What they are saying is, listen, elections are won in the spirit. Everything starts from the spirit. You birth it. So, be spiritual, let me be what I said. There was a time I said something. I saw Nanado when he won power. Nanado went through a lot of prayers. He had to go to Jerusalem to pray. A lot of men of God prayed for him. I was one of those men of God, who saw some of these things happening. That's what can I say. Until we have to be sure, say, spiritually, everything is settled. NPP cannot come into power if we don't solve their spiritual problem.
But therefore, so elections are won in the spirit. Abra, who said Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, before the form square the code easy, I saw folk that bomb to the code. Yes, what
she said, everyone was a Mama Beweni Dada. What I say, she said, Mama crowd between him and Nanado, the 2020 elections. No, Kai said, you guys came here, we're having a chat. And American said it was a tie. So I don't know. Even during the year 2020, there was no winning. People prophesied that these people Nanado was going to win. It was the beginning of the year. But along the line, things changed. And American said, and American said, by the close of the year, when the election was going to happen, the things have changed, and it was a tie. That is why the parliamentary became 137. But the actual election was a tie. We were supposed to go for a runoff, but Kasa Bibri behind the scene. That one they paying for Kasa. A lot of things, and there was no re-election. A lot of things happened behind the scene. If you are not into some of those realms, you will not know. That is how Nanado became president again.
Okay.
What did I say? And everything is done in the spirit. He doesn't understand the spiritual, but the spiritual realm is such that you have to understand that things change. I'll give you an example. Isaiah and Ezekiel. He went to tell him that he was going to die. He faced his wall and prayed. And after Pastor Isaiah was running out, the Lord asked him to come back. Go and tell him I'm adding 15 more years. And and Dr. Bawumia could not also change it. He didn't understand. He didn't have the right people to change it. His Excellency John Mama has done a lot of fasting. And also did a lot of work on him. We were very prayerful. And his pastors also did well for him. There were people behind the scenes that did well. You cheered me. Long time said John Mama were winning.
For that, now Muslims for your fasting. Dr. Muhammad Bawumia fasting. No, did you know your campaign? It's meaning
who said about my fasting, but that choosing your mama? It's God that chooses leaders. It may be you have a stand, but for this one, now you're choosing your mama. But you're hard work. You mind your mama? It is too much. And you had come from previous elections. But that's what the third one not go. And God is disappointed. I think that I was coming, and it was not easy. And your mama had the opportunity to be prayed for by pastors. The men of God that laid hands on him, then yes, you okay. He did the organized pastors. All the mantles came to pour on him. That's why he won by that landslide. But man was prayed by one individual, one young pastor. And this why the one who put 1,000, but two shall put 10,000. The men of God that laid hands on him, now wait, too much. Don't to me lose this. That is why he's doing well. That is why the economy is changing because of prayer. Not before history. But the spiritual backing on your mama now is too strong. Who show you about 30?
I am a John Mahama.
Who show you? And this is about 30. What meaning? In Pabodo Johnson. There's so much favor on him. Wuntumi sister. The whole world. In Pabodo Yejuma. And he will perform immediately.
Because your mom Benny John Dramani Mahama will be a would you for vision and home come say, a sign you may be slim with your senior and something. Okay. The end is a sign.
The son, I had other men of God on Bonpai man. The authority of the person not Bonpai first man and not see unto me get present. There were bigger men of God who carry more authority. And they gathered and prayed for him. All the ones you saw on TV was a facade. But behind the scenes, they had people with authority. The also some come or the spiritual father also Bonpai your mama. When there? Somebody with a higher authority. You see on it. It's like a higher authority. Moses came. You remember Reuben in the Bible? Moses came and reversed the curse of his father. They make an answer what you say. So the spiritual authority now, a package of man, too heavy. This is very heavy.
Okay. Or different back one and the NPP, the co-position taxes. Yeah, what would the back Ghana for Kasaya pa? It's to Ilivia, Ghana for Kaya, woman, all the buy. Covid the troops need to see a COVID living yadi. And it's a focus of our which is taxes in the dozen. What we won't be if you are buy Benton tax on giving you. Now the year as a force in Parliament House was saying for 1 Ghana cities and 2 petroleum so. It's any one to the other 1 6. Say pay any Jessica, a day to a car, a lights and sensibility, and just stable light. And I got for say any way Robin Peter to people. Or more than that I
But yes, I see that story in the media space. But every country pays tax.
Okay.
Tax has an idea politics. But the only way the government can get money is through taxes. And idea sale of raw material. It said gold. Say na 2.7 billion from gold board now there. And it's a very good thing to ask this question and to educate the public. There's no country in the world that do not pay tax. What you say? But you see, the betting tax was important to be removed because the young people don't have any work to do. There's no employment, which they can say. And so that's what they do. And the tax element was very, very high. And I e-levy. The e-levy, no, mobile money system, no. It was something that everybody was relying on to pay. The network is huge. But those who have cars have money. Or more cars. The assumption is you tax those who have more money than people who don't have. So, car for no there, petrol was the impact will not be felt to say, e-levy no. And e-levy is your percentage. We know 1 Ghana city. 1 Ghana city. And 1 Ghana city to me. Will be a 1 Ghana city. Will be a top petrol. Will be filling the tank. 100 city, 1,000 cities. Or Lamborghini now there. That's what many as scammer. Actually, 1 Ghana city. And the idea they say so that the people will not feel it. You tax people who have money to distribute, the income to reduce the pressure on the people. So what did they make? And I say, you don't tax people who are poor. So to be talk about this, what's kakra. Number 2, share. Who say petrol now reduce kakra, petrol price because of the reduction in dollar. Maybe want to say smart move. Then giant interesting if that is going to solve the doom problem. What I say, because you see, then people didn't add any key bit of power to the generation mix. Or more addition. They didn't add anything. Everything was just there like that. What I say. So they want to add and buying gas. They are, now, as I'm telling you, they are building a new gas plant that will supplement the energy sector. And the energy sector a lot of debt. What I say. And they want to reduce it. So they are very free kakra. I don't think that the MPP manage the energy sector very well. That is my opinion. I could be wrong. What did they can I say? So in order to cancel the debt, look at debt. What $150 billion out of the $750 billion. It's not easy within 5 months. And let's encourage the government to go on. I'm not saying that NDC will be perfect. I don't say that the MPP should not correct them or more go wrong. I'm going to correct you more. Because you see, Nanami can say, if we don't have good opposition, we can never have a good governance. And hold them accountable. There are a lot of things that hold people accountable. Even the corruption at the idea, it takes the opposition to hold them accountable. It takes government, it takes all the bodies. So accountability is very important, whichever way you look at. And I like the opposition, whatever they do. But the truth be told, I want to be fair and speak the truth.
But if we already know we have energy recovery debt, our petrol price and all that. And now if we also we now what they are 1 cedi per liter. It's the number of liters are better. What tax now? Okay. Yeah, Ghana has your public transport. You do so far. I don't have one never with taxi. If you are maybe a passenger and coming, but the driver needs so or no one bears our cost. It's no forward. So for if you had one crash space, or but for no see no sound loading, no sense.
Let's say it's you.
No sound loading. It's a real not yeah.
You see what the problem. Well, the problem with Ghana is that they pay too much profit. Yeah, dollar no so still in appreciate to a certain level against the dollar, but people are not reducing their prices of goods. And apart from oil and one, two, and the pressure no ever so because people don't want to reduce their goods. The American is what I say. And say you reduce goods and I drive for no better because of their bread. Because I'm a bread. You understand? They are suffering when they go back. Nothing has reduced. There's no impact, and it is not reducing because of the same Ghanaians. They profit too much. And they are suffering. You feel say a bomb by Kakra and Boa country because where things are going, go for bread too much.
People say now percent taxes in the come on easy. Abra NDC or one say omo be e for yenya so for mo to say taxes in the year juma o the campaign the ane ba wa ba no e tax man no go man no bra it's my 11 no for san koka when see
mam visa say ye 11 no be ni nje but see, let's look at the bigger picture. If we are going forward no, let's see, things should be better. Sini be pressure no be because go for bread too much. Sana e affecti go for be even the passes are affected. Go for 2 or 3. They do time grab almost and go for bars or not there. Yeah, so it has an impact on the church itself. The Americano, what I say. And well, we want to look at it. I want to look at that's my opinion. Before say one Ghana is better than 1%.
Okay. What for final words?
The final words is say young bumpire man Ghana. Young bumpire man Wuntumi say never. Uncle, and I pray that God will help our nation. Okay, and people will do the right thing. People will do the right thing. And no. We pump my Ghana. Easy. Before bread power. And no.
Apostle Medasapa. I will say Apostle Sakwamanti and I have to check so we will comment it will be as a young subscriber and so too much GE. I kind of father on the account so that they are uploading to one the first person young side being kind of heavy. All the social media handles over one. I too much GE. Also subscribing like no I say that will be so any reaction. That good anyway.